Now, For those of you that do not know what has been going on, Pewdiepie has been under a lot of heat recently for his quote-unquote anti-Semitic messages. Yes, I am a little late to the party, but remember I am just a 17-year-old Asian boy who is still in high school. Basically, not too long ago, Felix made a video on a website called Fiverr, which is a global online marketplace kind of similar to a Craigslist. Basically, on the website, you can ask people to do a variety of tasks, starting at a price of $5, hence the name. Felix began by explaining exactly what the website is and the kinds of things you can do on the website, like pay people to do your homework for you, or pay people to dance across the jungle with messages painted on their bodies. In fact, the latter is exactly what got Felix into trouble, because he paid the two Indian jungle dancing dudes to hold up signs that said, "Death to all Jews." What people in media are leaving out, however, is the context of the joke, which H3H3 pointed out in his video titled, "Is Pewdiepie a Racist?" Felix actually said death to all Jews, subscribe to Keemstar, which was just poking fun by framing Keemstar as the bad guy. But of course, in the world of media, context does not matter. Now here's the real question we should all be asking. Not is Pewdiepie a racist, but is it okay to say these kinds of things, or to tell these kinds of jokes? Here's some brain food for all of you. Think about this in terms of things I learned in AP psychology. Are the mind and the body separate? Specifically, think about it this way. If somebody says something that really gets you going or just pisses you off, can you control the fact that it does make you mad, or can you only control whether or not to show it? Likewise, if you find something funny and attribute it to your sense of humor, can you change the fact that you find it funny, or can you only put on a facade and morph your sense of humor to tailor to those around you, rather than genuinely appreciate what you find funny? The point is that we need to begin to understand other people and where they're coming from. We should take all humorous asides and apply them universally, because the most you should be able to do is just say, "Hey, I didn't find that funny," and move on. We live in a day and age where we need to stop being so butthurt and take into account the context of what people say. And three specific things. What led them to say it? Why did they say it? And how did they deliver it? We can tie this into what Ian Carter, or iDubbbz TV, said not too long ago. He enforced a point that I really liked. Basically, by making certain things social taboos, we give them the power we don't want them to have in the first place. Except in this context, it would be the Holocaust. History is history. The difference between Felix making a joke about something that happened and the difference between him abstaining from doing so does not change the fact that it happened. What we should be doing is trying to get past perceiving such things as sensitive subjects and instead focus on things that are genuinely hateful given their context, like the numerous hate support groups that exist in today's society. But hey, Lord forbid we limit their freedom of speech for being actively hateful to certain groups of people. Did you know the KKK still exists? I was surprised to hear it. Less people just talk about it. Now, that does not mean we should all go around spouting edgy nonsense and say, "You can't blame me for what I find funny," because likewise, you should still take into account what other people may find offensive. And as much as it contradicts my previous statements, there will always be those people who find certain subjects sensitive. But not only that, like I said before, context and delivery matter far more than the statement itself. Here's a question. Why is it that stand-up comedians are eligible to poke fun at anything using a range of racial slurs, anti-Semitic, or gender-biased jokes, whereas celebrities like Felix are straight up shafted for even trying to make a joke? I was watching a Louis C.K. stand-up performance a while back, and part of his preface to the show was literally, kill yourself and no Jews allowed. Look for yourself.
Leave your flash off. If you have, don't yell out during the show. If you have something you want to say to me, totally, this is what we do. We write it down, and then you go outside in the lobby, and then you go home and you kill yourself. What else? No Jews. I think they said that earlier, but they told me I have to say it. Jews aren't allowed. If you're Jewish, this is a good time to go. If you see somebody kind of Jewy looking, then please tell an usher, and they will. Sir, come on. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
God damn, I love Louis C.K. So if we can still see the humor behind when stand-up comedians say things like this, yes, Felix saying death to all Jews is different, but it's the same principle, just at a different level. So where do we draw the line in terms of edginess? Since it varies from person to person, there's no concrete way to define where this line is, but what we really need to keep in mind is that one person should not be able to say something over another person just because of a difference in circumstance. Personally, I would hate to be in the situation Felix is in. So sure, Felix has fame and fortune, but in social terms with regards to both his audience and the media, he is not in a good spot. Technically, no celebrity is, but especially when taking into account the type of celebrity he is. Felix said it best in his response video.
Old school media does not like internet personalities because they're scared of us. We have so much influence and such a large voice, and I don't think they understand it, and that's why they keep this approach to us.
Because he is a celebrity that does not follow the conventional standards or means of obtaining his fame, the older generation is full of skeptics. They don't want to fully acknowledge him for what he is, which at face value is a Swedish comedian who makes videos. But what people refuse to acknowledge him for is his constant charity. He is not greedy, nor is he the evil goblin media portrays him to be. He made about $7.4 million in 2015 according to Forbes, donating a whole million of it to charity. And how about all the times he's shown thanks and genuine appreciation to his audience for the place he is in today? No. He's still an anti-Semitist. Here's an analogy with two parts. Would you rather have a friend who is nice to you but secretly hated you, or have a friend who is completely honest? Most would say the latter. Now imagine in elementary school. There's a well-rounded kid with a loyal group of friends, except there's one problem. The principal's daughter is in his grade. She acts like she's the shit, and all she ever does is talk shit. And most of the grade knows she's just a conceited wanker. In this scenario, that kid is Felix, and she is the media. And Felix is the main victim of her bullshit. He can't say or do anything to her, or she'll pounce on him and the principal's going to shove his foot into his ass. So, do you see the discrepancy in what's going on? A while back, Felix made a video in response to the change in his video style. He says he doesn't play video games as much as he used to because he doesn't feel the need to put on the persona of a Felix that is forced to like a certain video game and play it half-heartedly. He would rather be who he is and fortify it by making content he feels suits not the Pewdiepie he used to be, but the Felix Yellberg he always has been. In short, stop bullying Felix. There's a lot more going on to worry about. What about all the Ebola in Africa? What about 21 reasons why you should never own a Yorkshire Terrier? Or maybe Felix. Maybe he's just a racist.